Hope everybody's having a great day. In this video, we're going to take a look at the double dragon form, right? So our double nunchuck kata, and take you guys through some of the techniques that we're going to do with it, try to get the full form for you guys to be able to practice at home, and kind of show you how everything works. So let's start off by talking about double chucks. Obviously, you can't do some of the catching things that we did with single chucks, but there are some cool techniques that you can do with double chucks, right? So some of the basic strikes that we want to start with is taking the chucks out, and you should be able to do some figure eight. So if you know how to do a figure eight, you have this kind of figure eight, right? But we want it to be a smaller, tighter figure eight in a single hand. And you want to be able to do that with both chucks, right? So if I have both chucks here, I want to be able to bring the chucks up and do a double figure eight, right? So I should be able to do that and then catch. So it's something that you want to be able to practice on. If you look at it again from the side view, if I have the chucks too close to me, obviously I'm going to hit myself. So I want to make sure I'm keeping those chucks out away from my body, and then bringing them in to be able to do that catch, holding them with my thumbs here, and then catching that chuck just like so, right? So the other thing that we want to be able to do is, everybody knows how to do this 1, 2, 3 strike. We learned it when we did our single chucks. So you have a combination where you're going to do this twice, right? 1, 2, up, 1, 2, up. And so you can alternate it. So this is going to be one of the combinations that is going to be in the double chuck form, and it's something that you want to be able to practice, right? So start off by just doing one at a time. And then eventually you want to get them going where you're doing both of these, okay? So you're going to have that. Now, as for the this little motion here, you can do it alternating it. You can also do it same time, right? So you're going to see that in the kata, same time in terms of a strike. We also have double down and then double up, so you can take the chucks instead of just doing a downward strike or a sideways strike. Right, you've got the double down strikes, double up strikes. You're going to see that in the form. Now we do that form where we actually take it between our legs on a particular couple of positions as we're working the form. There's another technique that is in the form where we're going to do an inside figure eight, right? So as I'm doing this little motion here, where I'm doing this, I'm actually going to do a figure eight in the middle there. So it's like a sideways figure eight. So I'm not doing a forward figure eight. The figure eight is going in a circle above and a circle below. So if you see it's kind of a sideways motion. So you get this inside figure eight. So if I'm here, it's inside figure eight. And then back to that double striking motion. So that is also in this form for you to be able to add in. You can add in some different techniques and adjust some techniques to kind of fit your needs, just like what we do with all of the forms. So if I'm doing this little motion here where I'm going 1, 2, 1, 2, if I want to take this motion here and then I want to turn it into an open hand catch, which I am not great at, but some folks like to do the open hand catch, and then you can actually bring it up and do the same thing into an open hand catch, right? So you can do some of those motions in there if you want to change that up on your chuck form. You can also change your figure eights, right, into a Sinwala or an Eskrima style figure eight strike. So if I'm doing a figure eight, I'm going to do a regular figure eight with an extra strike in there. See the extra strike? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that with both chucks, right? So as I get this chuck going, I'm going to do double and then back, double, then back. And I'm going to get both chucks moving here with an extra strike in there. Right? Rather than just doing something like this. See what I mean? So you can kind of add in some more advanced techniques anywhere in the form if you feel like there's a spot that you're going to want to be able to do that. Now, there are two other strikes that you're going to use when you're doing double chucks. One of the strikes is where you're actually going to take both chucks. You're going to do them like you're doing a sword cut, right? So if I'm doing a sword cut here, I'm just not going to hold the chucks like this. I'm going to hold them in separate hands, right? So both chucks go up to one shoulder, and I'm going to rotate my body and bring that strike down to the side. I can practice up on the other shoulder. Same thing doing that strike to the side. So this is a double strike, and I can practice bringing it across my body with that same double strike, because you're going to want to be able to keep those chucks together and work them, right? So I want to be able to move the chucks together. One other cool little move that's in this is a reverse kind of figure eight motion here. We call it a double spin. So you're going to do a strike in the kata, and then you're actually going to do this little double spin motion as you're moving. And so you want to be able to practice spinning both chucks flat, moving them across your body. And we're going to do that in a turning motion as we get ready to do this form. So I'm going to kind of go through some of the other things that are in the form. I'm going to face you guys, kind of walk through some of it, and then we're going to turn around and do the form where you can have a follow along version. So the opening movement, we're going to be stepping off to our left hand side. Both chucks are in hand here. We're going to fold. We're going to step to the left into a 45-degree front stance. I'm going to do a chop strike and then a punch. And I'm actually hitting with the chuck. So you can either hit this way with the chuck or hit with the end of the chuck and then punch with the end of the chuck, right? So I'm using the chuck, hitting somebody with the ends or striking somebody with the actual weapon. So 1, 2, moving to this side, rising block, right? Punch. So those are your opening movements. So 1, 2, turn 45 degrees, high block, punch. Now from here, we're going to open up our chucks. We're going to go back 45 degrees to the way we came, and we're going to do this 1, 2, up motion, right? So we talked about being able to do this 1, 2, up. So we're going to do that 1, 2, up, 45 degrees. Then we're going to do a double down, double up, figure eight, catch. So one more time that combo, chop, punch, high block, punch, open it up, cross, up, double down, double up, 1, catch, okay? Then the next movement of the form, I'm gonna take a step forward. So I'm gonna step forward and then turn around, going 45 degrees the other way. From here, I'm gonna do a high block and an uppercut strike, dropping to my knee, right? So I'm blocking up high, striking someone here, maybe somebody's coming at me with that, whatever weapon or technique is there. We're gonna stand up and go back this way, 45 degrees, chop, punch. After the chop punch, we're gonna take our chucks up, and then we're gonna do this thing, right? You remember this thing that we did here? We're gonna do that. So after this high block punch here, stand going 45 degrees, chop, punch, chucks come up. We're gonna take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. You're gonna end with that same right leg in front. Bring the chucks down, catch them in your hand. So we're again at this 45 degrees. We're gonna take a step with our front leg so that we can go back to where we started, and then we're gonna be now here at an angle back to where we started. So I'm going from this way, front leg moves over to here, 45 degrees front stance, high block punch, right? So I'm back to where I started in the initial chop punch with the kata so you could get your angles right. From here, we're gonna do a cool little combo, right? So after I do my high block punch, I'm gonna do a jump front kick, set it down. I'm gonna do a chop, spin, chop, punch. So again, still going to this 45-degree angle here. So I'm gonna slide back a little bit so that you can see that again. So if I was here, I just finished this little cool thing, right? We're gonna step this way, block, punch, right? Jump front kick, chop, spin through, chop, punch. Now we're going to turn this way, and if you've learned our traditional forms where we're doing a spear hand, after I do this punch, I'm just going to bring this hand over and do a punch underneath it. So I'm not going on top, but I'm going to be punching underneath where this hand was at, like I'm doing a spear hand strike, right? So I finished with that chop punch, turn this way, strike. Okay, I'm going to slide over a little bit so I can kind of recenter myself, but I've done this strike here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop our chucks and we're going to go flat. So I'm going to turn all the way behind me and I'm going to do the double strike here, right? So it looks like this. I've done my strike here, drop the chucks, turn, strike. So now I'm facing totally sideways and not 45 degrees. Now, we're going to bring the chucks back to the other side of our body, and then this is where we're going to do that little spinny thing, right? So I brought the chucks here, we're going to take a step, and I'm going to end up facing the same way again. So spin, here, right? I'll show you from the front, if I just did that strike, so after doing that chop punch and I drop it down, strike, across my body, spinny thing, across my body. Now I'm going to step to the front, 45-degree strike. 45-degree strike back the other way, and then we're going to do this little shuffle step, then another 45-degree strike, right? So I've got that motion going there. From here, we're going to bring the chucks up, and we're going to do that, this little thing that we were talking about earlier, except for what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this little motion in the middle, right? So I'm going to add that extra little umph going into the strike. So we just finished our strike here, right? So we did our punch, over, right? In terms of turning our body, bringing it back across our body. We're doing the whirly thing. We're going to the front, 2, adjust, chucks come up. From here, see how I did that? So I'm going to do just like this, except for I'm going to add this little motion in and bring it back. See how I did that? So I'm here. So do it a couple times so you can see what that looks like, where I'm adding this little strike in there. Okay? So we're going to do that once. So after I do this, I'm going to go 1, then I'm going to do it again, and I'm turning 45 degrees. Here. So now I'm 45 degrees this way. I'm going to catch my chucks so that now I've ended up facing back here to be able to start my next combination. After I do that, I'm going to turn back to the front, and I'm going to throw a reach hand strike, boom, bringing it back this way. So the reach hand strike is going to go back this way. Now, from here you have a couple of options, right? I can take my back leg, and if I want to, I can throw a kick and then just spin out, right? You can do a tornado kick if you want to. You can do a scorpion kick if you want to. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a ridge hand, the scorpion kick, bing, turn, chop, punch. Just like we did earlier when we were doing our jump front kick, right? So after I ended up turning, so kind of rewrite for you here. Boom, okay? Then we drop the chucks, bring them here, across my body, a little spinny motion. Back to the front, to the side, a little adjustment to the side, here, bringing the chucks up, back to the ridge hand strike, right? And then from here, scorpion kick, turn, chop, punch, right? So I've finished that little motion. Now, we're almost home. We're almost done with the form. What I'm going to do now is a shuffle step back. But while I do that, I'm going to take this chuck that's in hand, and I'm going to do some figure eights, right? So 1, 2, just like that. Nothing crazy. Then I'm going to turn and punch, step back to the front, done with the kata. So I'm going to go back to my position here in my fighting stance. Now I can, if I want to, add a flourish at the end. Maybe I want to step out and I'm going to, I can add some cool stuff if I want to finish out that kata, but you can just stop here if you want to and be done with that, right? So one more time, I'm going to do the form facing you, and then we'll turn it around, and then you can follow along with me. So starting with the form, here we bow, we're going ready position, stepping to the left, 45 degrees, chop, punch, eye block, punch, open, chop, punch, eye block, punch, right, chop, front kick, chop, punch, punch, back to the front, strike, strike, shuffle, strike, right? Ridge hand back to the front, right? Then I'm going to take this here, scorpion kick, chop, punch, here, punch, done. We're going to turn around now, and then we'll see if we can have you guys follow through. I'll try to go slow so that you can be able to practice the techniques and work it. So let's take a look at it.